let's head back to the early 80s for a little revenge. Welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone's doing well out there. And today we're going to talk about a little revenge film from '83 that I've never seen. I have heard of this film, but I never saw it until Friday night. I went over to my buddy Dale's house to watch this film, watch this together. He had never seen it as well. And Dale is Dale A of the Bat and Spider podcast. Those guys are awesome. They do one horror film a week, and they do one episode of Tales from the Crypt a week. So wherever you get your podcast, check those guys out. Send them some love. They're really good guys. And the movie we're going to talk about is Vigilante. I've never seen this film, and now I want to buy it on 4K because it was actually a really good film. It's way better than I thought it was going to be. This film came out March 4th of 1983. It's rated R. It's an hour and 30 minutes long, and upon release, it made a little over $5 million. Now, this movie was directed by William Lustig. William Lustig had been in other films. He was in Darkman as one of the henchmen on the docks. He sort of popped up in other films as well, but he also directed a bunch of films. And he directed Maniac before this one, which is a really good horror film. He directed Maniac Cop 1, 2, and 3, and he directed some other films as well. And just to mention this actor right up front, he's in this film too as a scumbag lawyer, Joe Spinell, who was in Rocky as the Lone Shark. He's in this film as a scumbag lawyer, and he played the main character in Maniac. He was the Maniac in that film. I think he was also in Godfather Part 2. I'm pretty sure about that. I'm not 100% sure, about 99% sure about that. And this is basically a revenge film. And a lot of I even thought up front that this is probably a Death Wish ripoff. And while there is those elements, of course, because it does deal with revenge and being a vigilante, it's not quite a Death Wish ripoff. There's peppered in there, but I would say this is definitely its own film with some similarities. In this film, we have Robert Forster as Eddie Morano. I love Robert Forster. Whenever he shows up, I always think he does a really good job. And I just talked about him in the Delta Force, where he played a Middle Eastern terrorist. Only in the 80s could he get away with that, but he's awesome in that film. Check that out. And the great Fred Williamson, who plays Nick, he is Eddie's buddy, and they have a group of friends in this neighborhood, and Eddie has a wife and a young son. And the neighborhood's been going downhill for some time, and they're sick of all the violence and the crime and the drugs that has invaded their city, New York City, and their neighborhood. And Nick and these other two friends have already started up this vigilante group. And one of the friends, there's a great conversation. I'm not going to repeat it verbatim. I'm not going to go into it, but there's a conversation. They're sitting at a bar, and Eddie goes, what do you want to do about this? And they kind of reveal to him what they've been doing behind the scenes on the down low. They've been taking back their little community there. They're taking out these drug dealers and these scumbags that have ruined their neighborhood. And he's like, you can't do that. And the one friend mentions how he used to be a cop, and now he works with them at this place. And he said, I tried to do it the right way, and the judges will let them out. This is really the only fair way, in that roundabout way, of taking back our fair little community. And Eddie kind of blows them off, but then trouble steps foot at Eddie's door. His wife is out at this gas station, and he sees these thugs harassing this guy, and one of the other garage attendants won't help, so she goes over and tries to help the gentleman. Well, these guys follow her home, and it doesn't end well. And a really shocking moment for sure, because there's always that thing where you aren't supposed to kill kids on screen. Now, Carpenter did it in Assault on Precinct 13. This scene kind of reminds me of that. I would say this scene's even a little bit more brutal than that one. In Assault on Precinct 13, you have the little girl that goes to the ice cream truck to get the ice cream, and then she goes back to complain that he didn't give her the right flavor, and the gang member had already killed the ice cream truck driver, and he shoots her. And it's a really effective scene, and Carpenter even said nowadays he probably wouldn't do that scene like that now, because he's older and he wouldn't do it. In this scene, Eddie's son is up trying to hide from these thugs, and they go up with this sawed-off double-barrel shotgun and shoot him. They don't show him getting shot. They show the blood splatter on the outside of the house and the window smashing. It's a very intense scene. It's very well done and well shot by William Lustig. And Eddie goes to court, and the guys basically get off on a suspended sentence because they're of technicalities. And Eddie goes postal, and as we would as a father and a husband, he goes postal in the courtroom, and the judge sends him to jail for attempted court. So he goes to prison, and he sees how it is in prison, and there's a gentleman who helps him out because he's getting ready to get raped in the washroom. And he gets out, and then he goes and joins up with Nick and the guys, and they take revenge on these scumbags that killed his son and hurt his wife, because his wife did go to the hospital. She did survive, but his son died tragically. And that's pretty much, without giving anything else away, because it basically is them tailing these thugs. There's a car chase at the end, just good old-fashioned revenge tale. That's what this film is. But it's actually really well done. It's well acted. Robert Forster is awesome in this film. Fred Williamson is really good. The other actors are doing really well. Joe Spinell's not in the movie much, but he plays a good scumbag lawyer. It's a really well done vigilante film. I was surprised. I wasn't expecting much. I'm like, at first when Dale mentioned about watching, I'm like, it's just gonna be a Death Wish ripoff. But it really goes in some other areas that I wasn't expecting. And there was some conversations had during the film, just characters had talking back and forth about what they're doing. And it actually is really well done. And I liked this film a lot. I was surprised how much I enjoyed this film for this little low-budget revenge film. Yeah, there was a sequel planned for this film, but it never materialized for whatever reason. This movie did make a little bit of money. I don't know what the budget was. I couldn't find it, but they did say it was profitable. But yeah, if you've never seen this film, I'm going to recommend it. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I was pleasantly surprised by this film. I would recommend, especially if you like vigilante films like the Death Wish films, this is in your wheelhouse for sure. It's really well done for how low budget it is. I enjoyed the hell out of it. There's some rough spots violence-wise, so if you're okay with that, I'd say check it out. I highly recommend it. Yeah, 7 out of 10 for Vigilante. Have you ever seen this film? Leave a comment down below, let me know. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, share this video. I really would appreciate that. I'll be back later in the week with Manhunter. I can't wait to review that film, and something else towards the end of the week. Until then, I hope you're all doing well out there. I'm just going to say bye.